I'm Dan Ackerman, and we are here taking a look at the brand new Dell XPS 14. Now, that XPS brand from Dell has been around for a couple of years. It seems to look different every year, although the concept is always the same. Kind of a high-end premium laptop that mixes productivity with cool design. I think the latest generation of the XPS is probably the best yet. It started out earlier in 2012 with the XPS 13, which we jokingly call the Dell Book Air because it looks so much like a 13-inch MacBook Air, down to the aluminum body and the tapered design. The XPS 14, there's also a 15-inch model, actually looks a little bit more like a MacBook Pro. It's still got the aluminum body, but it's not tapered. It's more slab-like, like a MacBook Pro is. Now, in this case, we've got a 14-inch display that's 1600 by 900. That's what I'd like to see in a premium mid-size laptop. The 1366 by 768 is a little chintzy once you get up to, $999, $1,000 more than that. And some laptops have 1920 by 1080 displays on a 14 or 15 screen. I think that's just too much. This is just right. You also get Dell's keyboard, which you'll find on XPS and Inspiron and other models, but it works well even across the less expensive and more expensive ones. It's backlit, which I always like, but only on the XPS do you get the big all-in-one click pad. It's kind of like Apple's big no-button touchpad on the MacBooks. On the Inspiron models, you get the separate left and right mouse buttons, a little old-fashioned. I found this worked just about as good as any Windows version of this I've seen. The two-finger scrolling was actually really responsive. If you go into the menu settings for the touchpad, you can actually turn on what they call inertial scrolling, which is that sort of little aftertouch to the scroll that Apple has. Didn't work as good here. I would even leave that off. You do get Intel's latest generation of Core i series processors, all the way up to a Core i7, which is what we have in here, and discrete graphics, which is impressive considering this is considered an Ultrabook, which is that sort of Intel super thin laptop category. You don't get an optical drive, however, and it is perfectly thin, but I gotta tell you, for a 14-inch Ultrabook, this thing is insanely heavy, even though it doesn't have an optical drive. It's 4.7 pounds, which is more than Apple's new 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro, which is probably the closest sort of high-end mid-size powerball. And of course, it weighs a lot more than the Dell Inspiron 14 that we just reviewed, that also has a next-gen Intel Core i series processor and discrete graphics, so you can get a lot of the same stuff in a lighter package for a few $100s less, although I'm not going to lie and tell you that that system is as well built or nicely designed as this one is. I'm Dan Ackerman, and that is the Dell XPS 14.